Welcome to the FIA Formula 3 magazine show. It's round number 8 of the season and we're in Austria at the Red Bull Ring. And the fight for the championship is heating up nicely with Felix Rosenqvist, Jake Dennis, Charles Leclerc and championship leader Antonio Giovinazzi all with a good chance of winning the title. Who do you think are their strongest opponents?
For sure, Charles, is 7.5 points behind, so we are like leading the championship. And yeah, Felix is 27 points, but we know he's really strong. He's in the 6th year, so for sure he have a lot of experience. He's won a really good team like Prema, but we are really strong. Carlin did a good job and everything, so looking good. Still just 4 weekends, and we will do the best, and we'll see where we are in the end of the championship.
I still think it's Felix. Then obviously Antonio is fast as well, so we'll see. But yeah, we'll see.
I mean, I know from the past that everything can change very quickly, so I'm not gonna judge anyone out. I mean, Jake could still, for example, if he wins all the 3 races and the other guys have a bad weekend, he could be almost in the lead of the championship after the weekend. So I mean, anything can happen. You just have to be there and about, and that's what you got to do.
Well, the championship this year is more competitive than ever. What advantages do the leading 3 have over each other?
For sure, to be here in the same year, in the same team from last year. I know everyone, mechanic and everything, and for sure I know really well the track where we drove. So yeah, I think this is one of the advantages we have.
Well, for the moment, since 2 race weekends, there's not much advantage. So yeah, we'll see. Before this, it was our speed, I think, and yeah, we were not taking too much risks and everything. But now I think it's time to take a bit more risks and try to take as much points as possible.
Well, I think mainly it's the pace. I have much more pole positions than everyone else, and that's been my strong side the whole year.
Well, another driver doing really great things this year is George Russell from Great Britain, and the 17-year-old rookie sits in 5th place overall in the championship, and he will talk us through a lap at the Red Bull Ring.
Hello, I'm George Russell, race for Carlin Racing, FIA Formula 3. Here I am going to take you through one of my laps of Red Bull Ring. Entering my flying lap, we're getting a good exit from the last corner. That's important to start the lap in 6th gear, entering almost at 230 kilometers an hour. Using all the track on the entry down to 3rd gear, and it's important to get a really good exit. We go into a long straight now into turn 2 uphill. So we're now entering again at almost 230 kilometers an hour in 6th gear, before we have a late hard braking down from 6th to 1st gear. Have to have a late turn in and miss the apex just a little bit as it rises up a lot on the power early, and try and get a clean exit once again. Up in 6th gear, and we go into the fastest straight on the circuit, downhill, 230 kilometers again into a hard braking into turn 3. Down into 2nd gear, brushing the inside curve just to try and help the car get its rotation. Now we're entering into turn 5 in 5th gear. We've got to carry a lot of speed into the corner, just brushing up to the inside curve, overlapping the throttle quite a lot before we enter into turn 6, another really high speed corner, carrying a lot of speed into the track and using a little bit of the curve on the exit. Now we're entering turn 8, the quickest corner on the circuit, almost at 200 kilometers an hour, using all of the circuit on the entry, just brushing up to the inside curve, and using all of the track on the entry before we enter the final corner, get the car on the edge, power early, and yeah, we finished the lap. So this was one of my laps of Red Bull Ring. Hope you enjoyed it and enjoy the races.
Well, Felix Rosenqvist enjoyed the first qualifying the most. Pole position for the Swede. Right behind him and only 0.007 seconds slower is his Prema Power teammate, Jake Dennis. Also qualifying strongly, championship leader Antonio Giovinazzi. Felix Rosenqvist on pole then, ahead of Jake Dennis, who's 2nd. Giovinazzi was 4th, and Leclerc, still struggling with the balance of his car, lines up in 5th. great weather in Spielberg for the first race, 24 degrees with a track temperature of 38. And it's a great start for Jake Dennis, passing Felix Rosenqvist into the first corner. Felix Rosenqvist tries to fight back into turn 2, with Antonio Giovinazzi passing Lance Stroll and claiming third. Looking back at the start, number 34 Marcus Pommer barely moving on the grid. Bad luck for the German after his great performances in Zandvoort.
I had an electrical problem and went into the safety mode, and then I was in neutral gear, and I don't know, maybe I had to wait 10 seconds to come back to first gear, then I was P-last by far.
Marcus Pommer managed to overtake 15 cars before the end of the race, but no points this time out. Meanwhile, Jake Dennis still led, followed by Felix Rosenqvist, his teammate, and championship leader Antonio Giovinazzi. Further back, Tatiana Calderon in the blue Carlin car, fighting with Hyman and Boccolacci. 2 laps later, Felix Rosenqvist trying to attack Jake Dennis. It's a hard fight between the Prema Power boys, but Jake Dennis stays in front. Lance Stroll, the Ferrari Junior, still in 4th. Charles Leclerc overtakes Alexander Albon after he lost some positions at the start, now in 6th, trying to salvage as many points as possible for the championship. 2 laps before the finish, and it's a last-ditch attempt from Felix Rosenqvist to take the lead. A fair but hard fight between the 2 Prema Power Team boys. Antonio Giovinazzi benefiting from the battle, catching up to the front 2, and it was a thrilling end of the race as these trio battled it out to the checker flag. Not much to separate the 3, but it was a cheering Prema Power crew as Jake Dennis took the checker flag ahead of Felix Rosenqvist and Antonio Giovinazzi. Dennis catching up a bit in the battle for the championship, and our track guide George Russell with a strong 5th place.
The real start was fantastic. It was one of my best. Felix didn't have a bad one at all. It was, I don't know, exceptional one. But yeah, it was so hard, the race. It wasn't easy. Maybe for the fans, it looked like we were just driving around, but Felix was very fast.
I went for a move on him in turn 2, and he sort of stopped in the middle of the corner, so I think I would have the better exit, but then he like braked, and I drove into his rear wheel. And then I lost the whole exit, and Antonio was coming from behind.
The last lap was really good fight. I tried to overtake Felix, but honestly, I don't take too much risk. I saw Charles was P6, so points is important now, so I need to think about the championship.
More action from the Red Bull Ring after this short break, so stay with us.